It was just a neighborhood dance. It was just a neighborhood dance. That's all that it was. But oh, what it seemed to be. All those songs. You should hear this, the crap that I play on Monday nights. I'm trying to get the people to sing, you know. The whole family played. But do you remember his wife, Fran? I think she came over. We used to go to the Kodak Auditorium when they used to have their concerts there now with Eddie Cole.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a dandy. No matter what the hell I would play, he was a jazz saxophonist. And he'd be there, strangers in the night, he'd be do 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 do. Eddie, what the we used to stand up and play. I said, Eddie, what the hell are you doing? Because he'd be just weaving, you know. He said, don't worry about it. He said, I'll catch you on the ending. Da 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 da. We had a
It's
ball.
jazz for you. It's jazz.
Pardon?
It's jazz.
Yeah. He was terrific. He was, no matter what I played, he'd be in there, you know, and I said, what the fuck you doing, Eddie? He said, don't worry about it. He says, you read your music and I'll read my music. Yeah. He worked for Kodak 35 years.
Wow.
One day, his boss, do you remember the street he lived on off of 104?
No.
One day his boss invited us over the house because his son wanted to learn how to play drums. He says, why don't you and Eddie come over? He says, we'll have my son sit in on drums and see. I said, it's a good idea. So anyway, we went over to his house and his boss had a buffet set up for us and all. I had my music stand. You remember my music stand? It was tilted like this here, so the music, you know. Anyway, Eddie goes over to the bar and he gets it. His boss had a bar set up. He gets a beer, nice tall beer. And anyway, he walks over. He says, oh, no. He says, he said, Eddie is the most disruptive person. He says, why I never fired him, he said, is because he comes to work every day. He says, I just had a new carpet come in. He says, and there he goes with that beer. I said, what are you worried about? He said, yeah. He says, you watch. He goes over to the music stand where I had my music stand, and he was going to set the beer on top of the stand, you know.
Slanted.
He said, oh no, he started out, Eddie lets the glass go, it slides down, hit the end and goes right on the carpet.
Wow.
Oh, the boss started crying. He says, Eddie, what are you worried about? He said, give me a mop. He said, I'll mop it up. He says, get another one tomorrow. What are you worried about? That was Eddie Cope. Yeah.
Wow.
1, 2, da 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 da. 1, 2, da da da.
Yeah.
He couldn't get that in his head.
Some people don't hear it.
He
Some
didn't have
people
an ear
just
for
can't
music.
hear it.
Yeah. Oh, I used to do a lot of solo work, you know, on the accordion.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy hired me. He says, I'd like to hire your band. He says, but Charlie, he just came from Italy. He says, there's one special song, he says, that I would like for you to take a solo on the accordion. And what I would like to do, he says, my intended wife, I'd like to take her out on the stage.
Oh.
And what I would like you to do is play Mellafemina. That means bad woman. So he says, as a joke
Sounds like fun.
to my intended wife, he says, but I want your full orchestra there. He said, to play for dance music and all that. I'll never forget. I went and got the music meeting. I worked on that fucking song day and night. And but I have a good ear, damn good ear. I said, the first thing we got to do, I said, come over to my house so I could find out what key you're going to sing Malafina in. He said, well, he said, I'll tell you now. He says, I used to do it in B flat. He says, can you do it in B flat? Me get B flat, you got 3 friggin' flats coming and going.
That's the hardest key to play in, isn't it?
Pardon?
That would be the most difficult key to play.
Yeah, B flat.
Right.
I said, let me hear your voice. And he started, da 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 da, da 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 da, balla femina. And I said, okay. I says, let's do it. So anyway, he comes down, he gets a chair, he puts the chair on that stage, and he calls his wife. She was from Italy too. She was another hay picker. And anyway, he says, sit down. He says, I want to sing a song for you. So he says, he waved to me, here I am, you gotta have balls to do stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, Dave? So anyway, I'm standing in front of his wife, and he's standing on the other side. He says, go ahead. And he started, Femmina, tu sei una mala femmina, tu sei una mala femmina, te voglio scordare. That means, woman, you are a bad woman. I want to forget you, but I can't forget you. I'm there. I forget what the hell I had. I had one of my special accordions. Oh, I forget what. Musette. I had the musette set up because, that friggin' accordion was vibrating all over the place. And then the last part, I slid all the way right to the end. I couldn't go anymore because the last part goes up 2 octaves. Blah, 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 femina. So everybody started clapping, and he said, go on the floor. It reminded me of the Mafia.
Sounds like
When I used to play for the Mafia when I lived in Pittston, Pennsylvania. Yeah. He said, everybody dance now. He says, you all dance, So he said, Charlie, come on over here. And he slipped 2 50s in my pocket.
Wow.
These are for you. He says, now how much you charge for the band? I said, I got to have $150 for the 5 musicians. He said, that's no problem, Charlie. And he gave me.
Where was this?
Pardon?
What was the venue? What was the place?
Where was the place?
Yeah, restaurant or what was it?
No. Oh, it was.
Party house? Was it here in Rochester?
No. This was in Pennsylvania. I was still in school.